I'm shooting now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello, if community. You can see that Peter is tying his shoelaces.
No, because we're shooting now.
Yeah. So it's me and Peter here right now, and we came here to answer some questions now. So, as promised, we're going to talk a bit more about
where all the different stuff you've been asking us, and I try to take all your questions from the community, from the WhatsApp channel, from the insiders, from the Telegram group, and I categorize them in some rough categories, so we can basically refer to those videos to make it easier for you, and you don't have to watch a 3-hour video of us answering all the questions.
Exactly. So, yeah, we can start ahead. So, yeah, we will be reading off the questions that you ask in the thread.
And basically, again, we are completely off script, as always, so the only thing we have right over there is the questions. So we will look over there quite often to read off your questions.
Exactly. So let's go.
Yeah, first general thing, Consta. Where do you see the most problems?
Well, that's a great question. So, you mean like, it really is very important to understand what exactly is meant by like, in general, but I think that the most issues come from the fact that the project itself is very high-end, and a lot of manufacturers, like in China, they're not really used to creating that level of device. And because, you know, the thing is that like, our requirements are not just to create a device with great components and great feel and look, but like our goal is to create a device that gives you flawless experience. Because really we always wanted to make a device that would be as good as MacBook in a way of how flawless it operates. So you know, that you open it and it always works, and you close it, it always works, that kind of stuff. So I think that the most problems come from the fact that we just really want to have the best. And that's why we're even having this small delay now, is because, you know, we're not happy with typical issues that Windows devices have. Because actually, like, our vendors think that the device is already like ready to be produced, but you know, in our view, still there are small imperfections that need to be fixed. And you know, you'll be the judges of this, so that's why we'll send you the prototypes on 26th of February. We'll get them assembled fully, and then we'll send them to you, and then, you know, you guys basically know.
You guys will say if we met our goal to be the best or not.
Yeah, and then if not, then we'll just improve it and then send it again. Yeah,
because so we are willing to delay it, like, let's say, like 2-3 weeks again, if we then can give you a much better experience. That's the most important thing for us, to give you the best experience we can have.
Yeah, but I'm sure that we should be able, like, to ship in time, that we were told in the previous video. So
next question.
That's the biggest problem.
Yeah. Next question was about the Asus Switch Alpha 12, which someone referred to that it had, like, I think 910 grams around that, but featured a completely passive cooling about a uCPU, while we with the V are going for around 850 gram. And so we want to know what cooling solution we have, as we have quite similar weight. And I think it's a very good question. The thing is, we quote-unquote lose quite a bit of weight because of the battery. We are featuring nearly 50 watt-hours of pure battery, and just battery takes, in comparison to other components or just simple air, has much more density and is much heavier. Also, compared to the Asus Switch Alpha 12, we are using an aluminum build, like the MacBooks, to achieve really a premium quality and feel when you use the device every day, and also make sure that it's sturdy and doesn't scratch. Because I've heard from some people personally that I know and who own a Switch 12 that their device gets scratched really easy. And we don't want it to happen, so we went with a bit of a heavier device, but that has a higher build quality.
Yeah, I can even add on that. So, like, exactly, first of all, like, we are lighter than Acer Switch, and the single block of aluminum housing is one of the things, exactly like why it is heavier. And I think you'll get the idea why our device, it doesn't really feel heavier, but I think you'll get the idea why we made the choice of the aluminum and better battery life. Yeah, to sacrifice a bit of weight. So
you might agree with the aluminum, but you hopefully agree with having much more battery.
Yeah, exactly.
Next thing that was asked, like, how about a status topic that will be updated once a week? We thought about that, and we will be trying to basically give you, like, not this style of Q&A like we have right now, but like, let's say every 2 to 3 weeks, some status updates on how everything's progressing, what's the status on everything, like prototypes are being produced, bugs are being squashed, all that stuff.
I think maybe even 2 weeks would be great, like every 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the thing is also like, even if we wanted to move faster, still we have to communicate with people, we have to get all the information in. And like, if we had 1 week, we would have rather short updates that don't have really much into them. Like, yeah, you remember last week? It's basically like last week, except we did 1-2 things, and that's it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the main reason why we haven't had, like, so many updates is because, like, seriously, guys, our team been super overwhelmed with everything happening here. So, first, you know, we had BackerKit, so we've been charging the rest of the payment, offering some accessories. And then, you know, you can't imagine how much customer support we've received. Like, how many tickets they were. Like, people were asking, like, what is this and what is that and how BackerKit works. And you know, we were drowning in that, as well as, you know, the development was ongoing. That we just really didn't have enough time to update you. Also, we have a new hire, Michelle. She's our supply chain manager, and we'll try to actually get you some photos of her and get her to one of these videos.
She's not here anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, she left back to China because she's now, well, she's based there because our supply chain is also there. And then also, you know, like, for example, like, I always nowadays have these, like, flights to Sweden and other places to, like, meet up with Microsoft, to meet up with Intel and so on. Just somebody was trying to get into the door. So yeah, that takes a lot of time as well. So it just like was really hard to squeeze it a bit, but we would definitely do them more systematically.
And also, you should not forget, we are a super small team. I think we're right now 6 people in Helsinki? 5 or 6?
In Helsinki, yeah. I think in Helsinki, we're 6 people in Helsinki.
Yep.
And 10 people now in total, like for the business part of the operation, and more people in development.
Yeah, like 10 people for the whole business part, and it's really like every hour we take to update something, that hour is missing, like the product development side or other things that should also be moving along. So it's really hard for us to properly like just devote that much time to updating. But we are trying to. I think you realize that right now, because we're taking this day off basically from development and everything to just update you, and we want to keep forward with pushing regular updates.
Yeah, I think we already spent so much time on this question,
yeah.
So let's go to the next one.
You mean the final one for this one, and that was how long will people be able to change shipping addresses constantly? Because you are the guy who knows.
Oh, that. Sure, yeah. So it's pretty easy. So you basically have, so at some point we'll lock down all the addresses, and then that will be like a 48-hour notice. It's called in BackerKit. So I mean, we haven't decided the exact date yet, but like maybe a week before we'll start shipping, we'll lock down the date. So it's gonna be like mid-March. If we ship in last week of March, or then it will be like, you know, first day of April. So we'll lock down the date then, and before that you can change it.
Also, how about the second batch people? Will those have to lock on later? Because I think this person might be the second batch as well.
Yeah, so for the second batch people, actually that we haven't decided yet, but you know, feel free to make a suggestion. Like, I think that we could lock down the addresses for second batch people. Or actually before shipping to them. So 30 days, so we'll ship second batch 30 days after the first batch. So we'll be like basically 20 days after the first batch is shipped, around that. That's when you'll be still
around a month basically. We can't properly lock it down because...
Yeah, I mean, we just haven't decided, like, because,
yeah.
So once we are shipping, so like how it works is that we really want to make sure that we ship to the right address. So before we ship, we will check the address with you, so that's it. So we'll give you as much time as possible. Yeah. And
yeah, those are the general questions right now. Please tune into the next segment where we will answer all the questions you have about the power, like battery and charging and that. Thanks guys. Talk to you later.
Bye bye.
That was good.